Hello guys, my name is Dijon, and today I wanted to do a different kind of video. Um, I wanted to do a video that was like talking about me and my journey. Right now, I have been experiencing a sense of disconnection from people, but I would like to explain how I got there. So it all really started when I was 9. When I was 9, I went to a new school. This was 4th grade for me. 4th grade, yeah. When I was 9, I was in the 4th grade. Just transferred to a different school, and that's kind of where the bullying first started. I'm albino, and that comes with vision problems. So with the lack of skin pigment and vision, that caused a lot of people to they had a field day, I guess. But yeah, 4th grade, new, and I just kept getting picked on and picked on and picked on for a very long time. And because of this bullying and picking, that put me into a very deep depression at a young age. I didn't like myself. I thought that there was something wrong with me, considering I got picked on damn near every day for the way I looked, the things that I liked. It made me feel weird about the things I liked, so I had these internal little wars going on because I really, really like this, but they think it's stupid or weird. And I didn't like anything too crazy. I liked anime back then. I think one of my first ones that I ever watched, I mean, I knew about Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't watch it. I think it was Inuyasha. So I like that type of stuff, and I kind of like anime and rock music back then. And I got picked on for that type of stuff. We weren't like the richest family, so people made fun of me because of my clothes, which when you're 9, I don't really believe you have the choice, depending. Well, I didn't have a choice, so I just kind of had to wear whatever was kind of gotten for me almost. Like, I had a choice in what I could pick out sometimes, but the majority of times, no. So yeah, I got picked on for all sorts of things, and it just put me into this really, really deep part of self-hate. Like, I really, really hated myself. But the biggest point about me telling this story is that when I was depressed and sad and didn't like myself, I kind of felt a sense of connection with people because everybody else was sad. Not that I didn't necessarily know it back then, but as I got older, I started to notice that when I was sad, I just felt close to people. I might not have verbally, or I might not have shown it, but I was definitely felt a connection to people because, like I said, everybody else was sad and I was sad, so I just had this sense of connection with people. All the bullying, all that stuff, it continued it continued till it carried on until high school. In middle school, I would used to act out so people would pay attention to me, because when I would tell on the kids that would pick on me, nobody really listened. The teachers didn't care. They didn't do anything effective to my standards when I was a child. Like, I don't necessarily know that what they would have done would have actually stopped it or prevented it, but I had these ideas of what they should do when I was a child, like how they should help and what they should do to the bully, and none of those did. Nothing added up to whatever was in imagination land. So yeah, it carried into high school with me just acting out, not really being bad because that's what type of kid I was, but really just me trying to get somebody's attention, for somebody to listen. Because like I said, nobody really listened to me back in the day. Like when I said, hey, he's picking on me for this, that, and the third. Oh, just don't play with him. That wasn't it for me back then. Like, that wasn't what was going to help me get over it and go play with him, or don't go play with him. Don't bother him. Go over there and play. And it was kind of like they just pushed my sadness and depression and bullying under the rug. Like, they didn't really care. But that carried on into high school. I was still getting bullied because all the people from 4th grade up to 9th, we all went to the same school. So when we all went to 8th to 9th grade, they were all there. So all the bullying kept up. Plus there's new kids now. Now there's sophomore, juniors, and seniors that I have no idea who you are. So and I'm the weird kid, I'm the different kid, so all of those kids picked on me too. But like I said, I felt connected with these people because everybody was sad. Everybody was depressed. Well, I don't want to say everybody. That term is incorrect. Majority of people, a lot of people, those terms are more accurate, I guess. A lot of people were sad, a lot of people were depressed, and I felt connected with these people because I didn't actually go through with it, but I did try to hurt myself on 4 different occasions. And the first time I tried was in the 9th grade. I mean, not in the 9th grade, when I was 9 years old in the 4th grade. Like I said, it put me into a really, really, really deep depression, and I just didn't like this. I wasn't prepared to like go out into the world and then everybody you have to see every day hates you or thinks that you look funny. I was like, I just didn't like it here. So I just was like, well, I guess it's time for me to check out. But obviously I never actually hurt myself. I don't have any scars or anything. But yeah, I 4 times, 4 different occasions, and where I came to the point where I just was like, this isn't it. My idea of what life was and what life actually was did not add up. And I just felt like I would rather be any other place than here. So, and those continued, those thoughts stayed with me for a very long time. I've only ever tried to hurt myself 4 times, but the thoughts of not wanting to be here, those stayed with me until I was about 26, 25. 25, 26. 28 now. And in high school, you know, another big thing was like, even the people who said they were my friends, they would also throw little jokes in. But at the end of all of their jokes, they would just say, "Oh, you know, I'm playing with you." But they would do this all the time. So I had a very, very screwed up idea of friends, because I thought that friends would just be joking with you. Even if they made fun of things that you didn't have control over. Man, if they're just joking, it's okay. They're just joking. Those are your friends. They care. But I don't really know if they did. I don't really know if your friends are supposed to just, joke about things that, you know, you can't control, sensitive things like your skin tone or the fact that your head moves back and forth, your eyes move back and forth, shit like that. So, yeah, high school got picked on even until after I graduated. Even in the real world, outside of school, I got picked on too. There would be kids that would walk around and be like, "Oh, bobblehead." That was definitely um one of the nicknames that I took. Not that I wanted to. Didn't really have a choice, I guess. I did have a choice, but yeah, I would walk across in the town that I live in. I would walk, and people would go, "Oh, bobblehead," and they would do the head motion and laugh and point fingers. And like I said, this really, 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 really dug into my skin and into my mind so deeply. Like, it was horrible. It truly was. This, I think the crazy thing about it was that I had to hear it every day. Every day I went to school. Every day I went outside. From like ninth grade, from 9 years old to just like, till I was like 25, 26. So, graduated high school, went to college, still got picked on, still got pointed at and laughed by just random people at this point. I don't even know these people. Me and my friends, we play Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game, and I remember an incident where we went to Columbus, Ohio to play in a tournament, and we went to Denny's. And while we were sitting there waiting for our food, this lady came up to me, and this is when I had a big afro. I didn't have the dreads. This lady came up to me and she was like, "Oh, your hair looks so cool. Do you mind if I take a picture with you?" And I didn't think nothing of it. I thought that maybe I looked cool to somebody. And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I took the picture with her and I let it be. I just took the picture and she walked off, said thank you. But my friends noticed that when she got back over to her group of people, some guy was holding money over her head, and like she snatched it, and then they all started looking at the picture, and so they started laughing, and that definitely hurt. I didn't do anything about it. I wasn't the strong guy. I was real timid and shy, and it really wasn't me. So, but yeah, shit like that. This happened. This happened till I was 25, 26. And one of my biggest music influences was Kid Cudi. I have a couple tattoos for him. I listened to him a lot as I started growing up. And there was always this one song, it was called Love. And in that song, he said, "We have to find another way." And when I was about 26, I believe. I came home from work one day and I just sat in my room and I was like, you know what, man? I just sat here. I've been depressed and suicidal since I was 9 years old. And I sat there and I said, what if I live to be like 60 to 80? I was like, I gotta live on this earth for another like 40 to 60 years. Something like that. I'm like, I'm gonna live that long being depressed and sad, and this sucks. Who wants to be like this for the rest of their life? And something about, I started listening to that. I just remembered that song, and he was like, we gotta find another way. And I tried throughout the entire time that I was depressed. I tried religion. That didn't really work the way I wanted it to. Positive thinking. I tried all the little antics that I didn't try medicine. I already had a notion about it that I made up in my own head based off of things that I saw. So I didn't try that. But for some reason I turned my PlayStation on and I went to YouTube and I just typed in like life coach. I don't know what triggered me to type that in. I don't think I've ever even used that word before until that day. I just went to YouTube and I just started watching all these different videos. There was a plethora of different videos that I started watching, and they weren't clicking. Like they weren't clicking. They weren't like wow, like that one really like resonated with me until I got to this one guy. His name was Noah. And the first couple things he said, which is what I try to tell people now, is he told me that before you watch this video, you have to be very open, or what I'm going to say isn't going to do anything. And when you're depressed, you usually, for the most part, you are closed-minded, or at least I was. Very, very, very closed-minded. I thought things could only go one way. I thought it could only be this certain way. I mean, I was depressed since I was 9, so I mean, I've kind of figured that I had to be depressed for the rest of my life now. But so when he said that, I'm in this like, I don't even know what mood I was in. I was in this like, all right, so we're gonna try this. So I just kind of like, I put the key in the lock and I just opened. Like it was like opening myself to whatever information is going to come out next. So I just opened myself up to whatever he was about to say, because who knows, it might work. Then the second thing he said was to not try to trust or believe the words that he says, and that I'm to discover it for myself. And I never heard nobody say that ever in my life. I'm 26. I never heard a single person say, discover it for yourself. I never did. And I was like, I just was like, all right, let's try it. And then as he started talking and going through these questions to ask myself and these different ideas, it just all made so much sense to me. It just made so much sense. It did. And that was the day that, believe it or not, so many of my thoughts just left. So many of my thoughts, just the thoughts that made me hate myself, depressed, suicidal, all those thoughts just like, they just left my head. They just left. Because they weren't true. And I was just holding on to them. I believed so deeply that they were true for so long. And I just had to discover for myself that they were not true. And once I did, they just left. that and so many other potential ones just left. I don't even know how else to express it. They just left. But something else that left was my connection with people. When I was depressed and sad, I felt so connected to people because everybody around me, for the most part, that I could see in my later years of life, as in like my 20s, were depressed and sad. And I started to reflect back on when I was younger, and I noticed that people were depressed and sad too. And I felt connected. But once I beat depression and found inner peace and happiness, I also lost that connection. I lost it, and I don't know, it feels weird. If I had to put a name to it, it feels different. It feels very, very different, and it's something I'm dealing with right now, because I'm asking myself, do I need to feel connected to people? I mean, I want to be a life coach, and I want to help people help themselves. And I don't want it to seem, I don't know if it seems like I can't relate to people anymore, or if I don't understand what people are talking about anymore because I don't go through the things that they are going through necessarily. I used to, so I know what a large majority of people are going through. Depression, anxiety, stress, insecurities, jealousy, suicidal thoughts, feeling worthless, not good enough, weak, pathetic, all those. I've dealt with all of that before, but I beat all of that. But I'm in this weird place right now where I've just been not hanging out with people too much. Because everywhere I go, it's just like, I don't want to take away the fact that people do get upset. I know people get upset, and it's okay to be upset. There's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes when I get around people, it's just like, damn. Like, people get stressed out. I haven't been stressed. I haven't been stressed for like 2 years, going on 3. And I also don't want to paint this picture that I'm like super enlightened. I got everything figured out. I'm this God type figure. Nah, that's not me. Dude, that's not me. Don't take me as a whole. I don't know the best way for you to live or love or heal. I don't know. I'm in this. I just feel disconnected. The point of this video, I feel a sense of disconnection, and I'm trying to figure it out right now. I'm trying to figure out what this means, what it means for me, and where do I go from here. But I felt like I don't like saying I feel like. I want to take away that mantra. I want to take away that saying. I wanted to make this video, and it was different. It's different from the rest of the videos. This channel can also be me showing you guys my journey and what I'm dealing with mentally, emotionally. Maybe you can grow with me, go on this journey with me. This is all new to me. I never got in front of a camera and just started talking about this type of stuff. I just was like, you know what? for whoever's listening, maybe somebody can relate, give me their perspective on this. I'm all ears. For if you got anything to say, you can put it in the comments. Comments are below. Disconnected. Disconnected. Do you feel disconnected? Did you feel like you wanted to reconnect? Do you feel like you had to reconnect? And if you did, and if you did feel like you have to reconnect, or if you did reconnect, how did you reconnect? How did you gain your connection back to what you were disconnected from? That's what I'm dealing with right now. The Imagination Land has said that since I am a life coach, or not am a life coach, or trying to be or want to be a life coach, that I gotta be connected with the people that I'm trying to coach. But another part of me is saying you don't have to be connected to coach people. Which is the part that is winning? But Imagination Land is just a little bit. It's a little bit in Imagination Land that's tugging me there. So, I don't know. I'm gonna make another video here shortly. This might be part 1. There might be a couple parts of this video. Share this with your friends, family. Maybe somebody there can relate. I did talk about a lot of bullying and stuff that went on with me in my life, which a lot of people can probably relate to. So just give me your thoughts in the comments.